Hello and welcome to It's a Sure Thing, the conscious community collective online stream show where we interview different guest speakers who are making a difference in the community. It's all about collaboration, connection, and showcasing what people are doing. So great to have you on here. If you've just come on, Sarah, welcome. Sarah Rose just turned up on there. Thank you very much for joining us. It gives me great pleasure today to introduce our special guest who has got a new online platform for purchasing the products that he creates. He's an alchemist, and he works with nature and works with plant medicine, CBD oils and hemp products, and he is a wealth of information about anything to do with nature. So if you're ever looking for this particular man, you may find him fossicking in the forest, or sunbathing, or moonbathing, or anything to do with being on the land and finding the beautiful gifts that nature has to offer. So thank you for joining us. Please invite your friends and family. Let them know that we're here and that we're going live across 50 channels of TV on demand through the Binge Network's syndication program. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce and welcome Chris Blackmore from Herbal Hindsight. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Sue. How you going?
I'm marvelous. Excited to have you on here.
Yeah, awesome. Likewise. Thanks for having me on. It's awesome.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about your history and background as to what brought you to what you're doing now.
Wow. And we've got half an hour.
I look in a nutshell. Obviously, it's you've had a lot of different experiences, but what's your passion behind it? I guess.
Yeah, look, I guess to summarize that as best as I can, I've had an upbringing where I've had a very close exposure to certain medicines that our world use that actually cause more problems, and it led me to become more connected to nature and to look to nature for what solutions and remedies that nature actually has to offer. That's a huge summary. However, so it's been at least, like, when I think about it, maybe like 22 years really since that journey first began.
Wow.
When I first connected with the first herb that started it all, and realized that actually this is a medicine. It's not what people are saying, and it's not toxic. Like anything in balance. However, everything has its place as well, and the journey, as you can imagine, has just dived very deeply in that time.
And Chris, you've got an online platform on your new website, Herbal Hindsight, which we'll put the details up later for everybody as well. And you have produced and created your own salve-vation products, as well as the CBD infused skincare. You've got your tinctures as well, which I'll talk about in a minute with you, just for people who don't know, your hemp oils and CBD oils, and also your teas, your herbal teas. So let's just go back to the salve-vation, because I know I was talking about this with you at the market a few weeks ago, and this has actually helped people with psoriasis, and a lot of other skin conditions. Is that right?
Yeah, so psoriasis, eczema, even acne in some instances. And then when it comes down to, it's CBD is one of the main ingredients. However, there's off the top of my head, 6 or 7 other herbs, all designed to sort of help stimulate blood flow to the area where you're putting it. So if there's inflammation, if there's nerve pain, if there's muscle pain, then it can help bring relief to those areas. And I've actually had more people use it on their knees than anything else. And to give credit where credit's due, it was actually my dad that formulated this recipe, using it for his lower back pain and sciatica. And it was so successful that we're like, hang on, we need to share this with everyone. So
that is fantastic. So you create that yourself and package it all up, and it's all made here in South Australia.
Correct. And here's one I prepared earlier.
Oh, aren't you on the ball? Excellent. All right. And so the other products, the actual CBD oils, and I know just a little bit of background information here from my personal, or my father's personal experience, because I knew that you knew a lot about the oils and the therapeutic benefits. And I brought my dad to see you and speak with you so that you could just educate him, I guess, on some information that was, and the way you described how it worked to him actually made him choose to give it a try to help with some cancerous tumours, and it has actually reduced them. So can you share a little bit more about the benefits, the healing benefits, and the fact that, you know, my dad was afraid that he might get addicted, or, you know, there's all of that kind of stuff, that all that connotation that goes into it. So but this was the pure extract, wasn't it, of the actual hemp?
Correct. So just to briefly distinguish the difference between cannabis, of which people know to be as like a psychoactive, like a drug sort of component, and hemp. Hemp is any strain of cannabis that contains 0.3% or less THC, the psychoactive component. And the CBD oil I work with is extracted from a combination of strains, so multi-strain high CBD hemp grown for its CBD content. As for to answer the question, the easiest way to answer that, the initial question is of the benefits, is first and foremost, everyone has an endocannabinoid system. This is the main regulatory system in the body that maintains homeostasis. This is also found in all other mammals, so dogs, cats, rats, horses, as just to throw that out there. So I have worked with some pets as well as humans, and first and foremost, it's an anti-inflammatory. The easiest way I can explain this from the years of observation is, and my research is, the stress is the biggest killer. Stress is the main cause of all dis-ease. And so being the endocannabinoid system is there to maintain homeostasis and bring about ease, the opposite, to relieve the dis-ease. If we're overly stressed, we are releasing, and this may be really black and white broken down, but that's fine for this question. When we're stressed, we release heightened levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which creates inflammatory markers in the body, which over time turns into disease. So if we can actually relieve the cause of stress and or relieve our reaction or response to stress, because obviously we don't have control over the external world to some degree, it's more so about how we handle it. So in that instance, it not only may help with physical ailments relating to inflammation, such as, you know, muscle pain, joint pain, knee pain, back pain, whatever. Athletes use it as well, but also things like anxiety. You know, if you've got inflammation and you're in pain, you're going to struggle to sleep. Therefore, if you're not sleeping enough, you're going to be anxious. If you're anxious, you're not going to be sleeping. So there's this like vicious cycle that continues. Yeah. So if it even just helps with one element of that, like I've had many people come to me over the years and just come, you know, can it help with this? And there's evidence that suggests that it may, but there's no silver bullet for everyone. Everyone's different. It's super subjective in how it works. It really comes back to your own diet as well, and your own, of course, your own mental health, your own, what you're telling yourself, what you're thinking to yourself, and
the monkey mind.
So like, just to like the other thing that can stimulate the endocannabinoid system, other than CBD, and various other compounds in the plant, including terpenes, is sunshine and exercise. Surprise, surprise. So these things help modulate our immune system, keep our body strong, healthy, and ready for whatever may come. So, I mean, yeah, like anything neurological, there's anti-cancer properties, anti-proliferative, which means it helps stop the growth and spread of tumors, as your dad discovered. Yeah. Oh God, like the list just goes on and on and on. There's so many things that are being discovered about it every day as well. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah. So you've got the oils. So how do people actually take them? So is it a few drops under the tongue every day, or what do you?
Look, so this is really subjective once again, and it really depends on the individual, depends on the ailments that they're looking to maybe treat.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's some things that may benefit from topical use. There's other things that may benefit from what's called sublingual use, so under the tongue. Ideally on an empty stomach has been my observation, unless someone's having a diet in high fatty acids. So if they're eating a lot of avocado or avocado oil, getting their omega-3, 6, and 9, so fish oils, hemp seed oil, then it'll actually absorb faster with that in the system. Then there's people can vaporize the CBD oil as well, depending on how it's prepared. And there's also, I'm trying to think of the term, but there's also another method. The technical term evades me, but it's basically you can absorb it through the belly button. And there are some people that sort of disagree with this, but I know people that have done it and have had huge responses. Oh, and I can't forget this one. The feet. The feet have the largest pores in the body. And there's actually a woman I can give you an example of who had a 20-year-old son with severe autism, epilepsy, and Tourette's. And it was next to impossible to get him to take it. So she'd rub it into the soles of his feet. And she experimented on herself first to see if it was going to be effective. And the first thing she said was bizarre was she could taste it.
Wow. Yeah, well, reflexology, you've got all the organs, all the body is on the feet. It's also on the hands. And on the face too. So that's awesome. Thank you, Chris. I just want to recognise that Ree has just come on board saying hi, and yeah, would love for you to bring your friends and family to be here with us. So there is a way to do that, and there's a little button somewhere, I believe. When you've invited people, just drop a heart in the comments section as well. So yeah. Okay, so next up, shall we talk about your teas? Because I also bought your Winter Blues tea.
Nice, it's what I'm drinking right now.
Oh, Winter Blues, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about where people can find you as well.
Sure. So just to give people a visual of why it's called Winter Blues, I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. Let's see if I can pour it.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the blue.
You can see that when you're pouring it.
Yeah, so this is a really dark blend, this one. So the bluing comes from a herb called butterfly pea flower. And I've put a little pinch of dried lime peel in there as well. The citrus helps extract the color. This recipe literally came to me while making a cup of tea one day, and the herb spoke to me and said, "Hey, Chris, make this." I'm like, "What?" I didn't know how it was going to taste. We've got lavender, we've got Herb Robert. Lavender is great for anxiety, calming the nervous system. Herb Robert's a blood cell oxygenator, helps to increase blood flow to the cells. So helps to alkalize the body. We've got the butterfly pea flower, which is good digestive aid and also good for anxiety. We've got blue lotus flower, which is relaxing without being sedating. So once again, good for anxiety. We've got two expectorants. We've got coltsfoot and mullein, which are good for helping to relieve excess mucus buildup on the lungs. So good for treating colds and that sort of thing. What else have we got? There's something that's evading me. I don't have the packet in front of me, do I?
Lots of goodness, but it's all from the earth, yeah? It's all natural.
Absolutely.
And that's our medicine cabinet, isn't it, out there?
Oh, look, absolutely. And it's delicious. This actually turned out to be really, really tasty. Oh, it also has Damiana and Tulsi. How can I forget? So great for anxiety, depression. Damiana is a kidney tonic, and also good at balancing hormones, particularly in women. Tulsi is the queen of herbs. It's the physical manifestation of Lakshmi, which is in Indian Hindu belief, the goddess of prosperity and good health. So yeah, I mean, I could go on and on and on about all those herbs. So that scratches the surface. And just to speak to your comment, like what I've come to learn is the earth is basically a refrigerator. And we just need to know what shelf to look on to make to put a feast together. And once you know what shelf to look on and what ingredients is what, it's all there. There's a herb for literally everything. And I've just noticed Sarah Rao has asked a question. Does the tea help with weight loss at all?
Good question.
Yeah, great question. So I was going to say absolutely. I'm going to say absolutely. There's evidence to suggest that it can, and like with anything, it's consistency, but also what else. There's obviously more than one variable involved in that. However, yeah. So Tulsi for sure. One of the ways Tulsi would work is it's excellent for detoxing. How did I forget that? So it's excellent for detoxing heavy metals and inorganic compounds, including fluoride, and that's been shown in various studies. So one of the things with excess weight on the body is it's an accumulation of toxins in the cells, and so when you start to detox, your body, it's highly intelligent, and it's like we don't realize how incredibly intelligent and loving our bodies are of us by storing this dross within us to protect our organs. And then so as we can find the right ingredients to release it, then the weight would just come off.
Beautiful.
So to speak.
And Reese just asked, are these all in the one tea? So that was only the one tea you were describing.
Yeah, that's all in the one blend. Absolutely.
That's all in the one tea. And so you've got, how many teas have you got at the moment?
Okay, so we've got the Winter Blues. I've then got Damiana on its own. I've got Tulsi on its own. I'm about to make some Herb Robert on its own, as there's been some calls from some customers for that. And it's like I say, it's excellent for alkalizing the body. So generally speaking, anyone dealing with cancer or anything, like basically disease can only thrive in an acidic environment. So if we can alkalize the environment, then we can help to relieve the negative effects of any diseases with the intention and hope of actually treating them. I also have chaga tea. Chaga is a medicinal mushroom, or technically it's a polyphore. So it's a growth that grows on birch trees in Siberian forests and also forest in China and Northern America. However, my chaga comes from Siberia. It comes from a business called Chaga Laboratories in the Czech Republic, and they actually contacted me last year, which was very exciting. And I'm now their Australian supplier, or provider, or distributor.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's phenomenal. Where do I begin with that? That's also excellent for detoxing, and it's really rich in vitamins and minerals. May also offer weight loss benefits. It's a good alternative for coffee. It can help with, it doesn't stimulate you like caffeine does, but it can give you natural form of energy, and help with the detoxing and the withdrawal side of it as well. It's also really rich in triterpenes, which indirectly interact with the endocannabinoid system. So good for immune system modulating, so helping to keep it balanced. What else have we got? There's so much. There's heaps more to that. It's hard to keep up with all of it, but yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really good for our immune systems, for anxiety, depression, and just staying present and focused.
Yeah,
it's a good source of goodness from nature once again.
Right.
And I think that's all the teas I've listed. Oh, sorry, nettle, stinging nettle. I only just released that last week. I've nearly sold out of it already. So stinging nettle, Urtica diatica. I'm just one of those freaks that remembers the Latin names. Is an old favorite. Most of us have come across stinging nettle at some point in time. It's an exceptionally awesome herb. There are studies that have shown monks who have lived off of nothing but nettle, meditating in caves for months on end, and the only side effect is they start to turn green because it's very rich in chlorophyll. And that's, of course, temporary. They start to turn green, yeah. And but I mean, like, yeah, it's great for the liver, great for the kidneys, just really rich in vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff. Yeah.
Fabulous. So you attend the Wollonga market?
Yeah, so
every Saturday, or
since the end of May, I've been attending the Green Light Organic Market, to be more specific, because there's a farmers market as well. So it's on the corner of Old Dinga Road and Main Road in Wollonga, between 9 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. roughly. Depends on the weather and attendance, as might go a little bit later.
Yeah.
Or pack up a little bit earlier if the rain hits us, which has happened once. And yeah, it started off once a month, and then it went very quickly once a fortnight, and then next thing it's once a week. And so yeah, I'm making the effort to be there every week, and it's really well received.
Awesome. And also you're going to be at Enlighten Adelaide this year. Woo-hoo!
Absolutely. Yeah, it's still number 22. I love the
We've
number.
got you there. We've got you there. We've been wanting you at Enlighten Adelaide for so many years, and now you're ready. You've got the products, you've got the information, so you'll be having your marquee on the lawn there at Partridge House on Saturday, the 4th of December, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just a little plug for all the other exhibitors as well who will be joining us at that amazing well-being festival that's been running for 12 years. So now I did want to talk to you about the I don't know whether I'm pronouncing this right, the tinctures?
Tinctures, yep.
Tinctures? So what is a tincture?
Okay, so a tincture is, generally speaking, it's an alcohol extract.
Okay.
So it's where you get the compounds or parts of a plant. Sorry, you get parts of a plant, whether it be the root or the flower or the topical part, the stems or the leaves. Depending on what plant is, you could use them all, depending on what it is, and you soak them in alcohol. And there's a various process I put them through, and there's so many different ways of doing it. But to extract the compounds. And the most recent tincture I've made was pine pollen.
Okay.
Of which is only available 2 to 3 weeks of every year during the transition between winter and spring. So I've gone out and I've wild harvested it myself, and I've just had to time it and collect it as much as I can, and be grateful that I don't have allergies, because I get covered. It's in my ears, my nose, everywhere. It's great. It's great fun.
Yeah.
And
little pixie you.
So I love your little intro there. Yeah, you'll often find me in a forest foraging. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a beautiful place. It's my home away from home, and my earthly embodiment is a bear after all. So yeah, I'm right at home when I'm in the forest.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the main reason I was called to this is, once again, it's excellent for detoxing toxins from the body, inorganic materials, particularly xenoestrogens, which are the toxic form of estrogen found in BPA and GMO products, which throw our hormones out of balance. So it helps to balance hormones in both men and women, but particularly with men, it's also a really, really rich source of testosterone, natural source of testosterone, which is not all that common in nature and in this form as well. Once again, good for the immune system. There's over 200 beneficial compounds in it, so I won't sit here and list them all. It's just
yeah.
In the feedback of a dear friend and customer who got some off of my first batch, it's good juju. She loved it, and I got her another bottle. So I don't have the new bottles in front of me, but there's my old one. The new one, wish I had it right in front of me. I don't. It was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful totem. When I was harvesting it, I had a ladybug landing right on top of the pine pollen. So it posed a bit for me. I got some amazing photos, and that's the logo. So I just thought I'd share that. It's such a beautiful, beautiful totem, beautiful omen. Lady luck.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I've got another question from Sarah. Are there any laxatives in the tea, or is it all
okay?
natural?
Okay, so to be more specific, not laxatives as such. However, the nettle, for example, is known to be a diuretic, and diuretic basically means it helps to stimulate the release of urine and toxins. So it promotes the detoxification process, but not a laxative in the sense of I've gone blank. There's not Metamucil, but what Metamucil is made from in the natural form. There are natural laxatives, and look, I'm open to, if possible, I'm very resourceful, and I've got some fantastic suppliers. There are teas. Senna is one of them. It's not the one I was thinking of, though, but there are some teas that I can get that are laxatives if it's needed. So I'm happy to sort of do orders here and there as well.
Yeah. And so really, if anybody's got any questions whatsoever about any natural plant medicine, you are definitely the go-to person, and you're definitely the go-to person for me for everything to do with that. And even if you can't source it, you can point people in the right direction of where to source it as well. Give them the right information. So they can get your products from your website.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's an online. They can get it online. Can they come and pick it up from you as well, or just at the markets?
They can. I mean, it's just a matter of catching me. I'm so busy. I'm all over the place. So the market's one of the easiest ways of doing it. However, the website, and if people want to contact me direct, there's also the ability to book in a consult, a 30-minute complimentary consult with me, particularly around the CBD oil side of things. If people have any questions or they get confused because there's so many different products to choose from, that's an option as well. So
fantastic. Okay, so a 30-minute free session with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to keep it to 30 minutes.
I was going to say, how are you going to do that? But that's okay. All right.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll just put it out there if there's any other questions before we actually show a beautiful YouTube video, and it goes for 1.5 minutes or something, which we'll do shortly to leave everybody with, which is a beautiful invocation about you and Herbal Hindsight and your connection to nature. It's a very beautiful YouTube to leave everyone with. So
awesome. And look, just wanted to do a quick plug. So for September, to celebrate the start of spring, I've offered a 10% off all products for the market. So if you go to the Facebook page, it's pinned at the top. If you want to come see me at the markets, just make a mention of this, and maybe a little something extra might be included with that as well. So, it's a sure thing. There's no harm in asking.
Absolutely.
And look, I want to extend the 10% off to the website as well. The website is also open globally. I've managed to work out how to do it. So if anyone is outside of Australia, that can absolutely happen. I have a PayPal link to it now, so you can pay with credit cards or there's bank transfer. So all of the technical stuff is all there. It doesn't exist right now, but I'm going to make a coupon code. It's a sure thing.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That's perfect. Thank you. Yeah, perfect. And the other thing is you are on our global wellness directory on Enlightened Tribe, the Enlightened Tribe directory, which is at sueshaw.com.au, my new website, amongst some other amazing practitioners as well. So people can get your information from there, as well as your actual website, which is herbalhindsight.com, and your Facebook page, which is, Herbal Hindsight. So there's all those different things to get in touch with you. And Sarah's just asked, do you post to Queensland?
Absolutely. I post Australia-wide. Yeah, I've got a few clients in Queensland already, so more than happy to.
All right. So thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please let your friends know about It's a Sure Thing. Next week, we have got Mary G from Talk Out Loud Australia with us, and she'll be talking about her teenage suicide prevention programs. So thanks so much, Chris. Thank you very much to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for the 10% discount as well for everyone. Till next week, take care.
An invention of sorts, a vision, a plan for the future, an idea, to reconnect and relive, to revive, the rediscovery of something magical, natural, nurturing, and life-sustainable, an innovation with the inspiration from the imagination to sustain creation. A quantum leap backwards to a time once forgotten, a return home to the secret garden, to pursue the possibilities and potential of a long-lost friend, to open your body, mind, and soul to the roots of success, the flower of life, the vine of death, and the tree of knowledge, to taste once more the forbidden fruit of our time, to sow the seeds of glory and triumph, to plant the seedlings of seduction, to create an eruption of a dormant art, a lifestyle, a tradition. And with it, you too can and will grow into something you have been once before, something long forgotten.